Hi there, guys, and welcome to a Dash of Sports. I'll be your host and presenter, Dashiki Dash, and I'm back with some breaking news, some boxing news, and Anthony Joshua and Dillian Whyte. That fight has been cancelled. Now, I had to jump on this live because literally I am completely fed up with boxing in general, but more so the heavyweight boxing, because it's just, if it's not this fighter or these fighters either canceling or not setting up fights, there's all of this doping stuff. It's just ridiculous at this present moment. But before I jump into it, please help me out by, subscribing, doing all of that jazz. Click the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my shows. And this is a Dash of Sports where I give you all the hot topics, trending stories, and all the sports news. So, without further ado, the breaking news is that Anthony Joshua and Dillian Whyte has been cancelled due to some adverse doping. Dillian Whyte's basically failed a doping test, allegedly. And I got this news directly when I saw it. I was just like, oh my goodness. I saw it directly on Eddie Hearn's Instagram page, and it read as this: Anthony Joshua versus Dillian Whyte fight update. So on the 5th of August 2023, which is today, the Voluntary Anti-Doping Association, VADA, informed Matchroom, the Association of Boxing Commissions, and the British Boxing Board of Control that Dillian Whyte had returned adverse analytical findings as part of a random anti-doping protocol. In light of this news, the fight will be cancelled and a full investigation will be conducted, and further information on the event will follow. Well, I don't know what further information you need to give, knowing full well that the fight has been cancelled. Now, this fight in particular, Anthony Joshua versus Dillian Whyte, was never a fight that for me personally was completely excited about. In fact, I didn't even care about this fight, man. I didn't care about this fight, especially off the back of Anthony Joshua losing to Usyk. We all wanted the Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury. Once again, that fell through. And to just, let's just say, underwhelming will probably be the most undeniable factor to this, because it's like a fight that really and truly didn't make sense. And the points of their careers also doesn't really make sense, albeit that Anthony Joshua obviously lost the 2 fights to Usyk. But we want to see exciting fights. I'm not saying that this wouldn't have been exciting, but it's just like, man, I don't want to see this fight in it. So to then find out that it's been cancelled due to some anti-doping business is just ridiculous. And we've gone through this already with Conor Benn, all of this, failing drugs tests, and then he's having to prove he's, and clear his name, and he's been eating eggs and tainted food and all of this kind of stuff. So there's much more to find out and to discover on why, Dillian Whyte's, why they found some, whatever it is, some adverse drugs or whatever in his system that we got to figure out and discover what is behind this. But all I'm just saying is just like, why? What is going on in the heavyweight boxing division? Why are none of these fights being, made? Why are people failing drugs tests? what is going on? I don't even think we're gonna get to see a decent heavyweight fight this year. Like this year, I don't think we're gonna see that because either they're not being able to get these fights sorted out. These heavyweight boxers are all waiting for the big bucks in Saudi Arabia, and it's not happening. You know, Tyson Fury Usyk is not happening. Joshua Fury is not happening. We're seeing Deontay Wilder and Andy Ruiz is not happening. Like, what is going on? What is really going on? But there's more to it anyway. On Sky Sports News, Sky Sports Boxing. Once again, if I just read from here, it goes, okay, so White denies adverse findings as Joshua fight cancelled for after doping tests. So Matchroom promised a full investigation will be conducted. Once again, just stating in a statement upon cancellation of the fight. White says he's completely innocent. Now, man, we always hear this. We always hear this. Like, when is a boxer ever going to just come out and be like, you know what, man? Yeah, I tried a thing. I tried a thing, trying to cut corners. And yeah, my bad. I put my hands up. I'm going to accept the ban and keep it moving. Never. We always hear the same old spiel is the fact that they're innocent. They don't know how they, whatever it is that's got into their system. They're going to do a full investigation. It's the same old spiel. Now, look, innocent until proven guilty. I'm not claiming that he's done this on purpose. But what I'm just saying is that we always hear the same thing over and over again. Over and over again. So he denies the fact that he's been found guilty. I don't think he's been found guilty yet, but he's denying everything. And so far, the name, because the first thing I thought to myself was, who's gonna be the stand-in, or if there is gonna be a stand-in opponent to come in at this short and late notice? And I'm hearing, or I'm seeing now, that Joseph Parker, Joseph Parker, his promoter anyway, is claiming that, that Joseph Parker will be ready for the August 12th date at the O2. Now, man, who wants to see this fight? Nobody wants to see this fight. Joseph Parker versus AJ. That will be ridiculous. But once again, it's just like it puts AJ in a position where it's just like, look, who is he meant to be fighting now? Yeah? Who is he meant to be fighting? So just bear with me one moment. There we go. Who is he meant to be fighting? Because you're thinking to yourself, all right, cool. Are there any worthy opponents out there? Now, the name that springs to mind for me is Deontay Wilder. Now, we're not going to get this fight in such short notice, but that's who we needed to be fighting anyway. Like, set up the Wilder fight. Like, why not have set up the Wilder fight? That would have been a better fight. That would have been getting people really thinking like, yeah, let's go, AJ. But I kind of understand it. As much as I'm rooting for that particular matchup, I kind of understand to come off the back of 2 defeats from Usyk, and then to come across come against such a big, powerful puncher like Deontay Wilder would be career ending if he would lost that fight, or if he loses that fight, that would be career ending. But it's just like, I don't know. I really don't know what to say, man. I'm completely lost for words as much as I'm chatting right now. I'm lost for words in terms of just trying to explain and understand the whole heavyweight division right now, man. And it's just so jarring, man. So jarring. None of the heavyweights want to fight up. None of them are. There's just all this money, and I get it. Man. Everybody wants to earn the big bucks. I understand. But you know who I got to blame for this? It is AJ himself. He put himself in such a position, like the A side, making all this money, and all the other fighters were like, boy, we want a piece of this pie. You know what I mean? And where he was pricing all of these fighters out, now look what's happened. You know, Fury doesn't want to fight for nothing less than $1 billion these days, or what? You know what I mean? Then they get themselves into like a free fight contract with Deontay Wilder and Fury. That wastes his time. Usyk and Fury don't want to fight because of money. Just like so many money issues. And like, what about these different organizations, these boxing organizations, WBO, WBA, IBF, WBC? Like, they've got a lot to blame for this as well, man, because it's like there's so many belts out there as well. There's so many belts. And it's just like, this is why a lot of people just say, look, man, UFC is the way. It's the way forward. You know, despite with all the stuff that with Dana White's and, the accusations of not paying the fighters. But there isn't so many governing bodies. You get what I'm saying? So, like, all these fights should be, you should be quick to be making these big money fights. Yeah. Look at, we just recently just saw Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford, albeit it took about 5 years to deliver, but we finally saw it. Yeah. And look at how people were so excited by this. We saw Gervonta Davis versus Ryan Garcia. That was a good fight. It wasn't even for no titles. But it's just like, give us the exciting fights, man. Give us the exciting fights. And then, the heavyweight division will boost back up again. And we had Deontay Wilder and Fury. Those 3 fights were brilliant fights. I don't think we really needed to see a third fight, but they were locked into a contract. But they delivered. They were exciting fights. Give us more exciting fights. That's what we want to see, especially when it comes to heavyweight boxing, man. We want to see people getting knocked out. We want to see people getting knocked out. We want to see big fights, and we're not getting it. And that's just a ridiculous thing at the moment. And it's so upsetting and it's so annoying. But what now for AJ? What now for AJ? Because I'm not really gonna invest my time in figuring out what's happening with Dillian Whyte. It is what it is. And look, I used to be, I say I used to be, I'm a big admirer of Dillian Whyte because I felt like he was the underdog in that period of time where you had your Furies, Joshua Wilders, and I just thought to myself, man, you know what, Dillian Whyte could creep into this mix, but yeah, Povetkins and all them other fights and stuff like that, yeah, he weren't really at the levels to really compete with the big boys. But AJ, Anthony Joshua, what is happening now? What is going to happen? Unfortunately, this situation is not your fault. I'm not blaming you for that. What I am just criticizing is the fact that you need to be hitting the big fights, man. Get the bigger fights. Yeah. Now, there's all this rumors that there was going to be like a heavyweight tournament coming up in December times or September. I might be mistaken. It could have been September, December, basically in Saudi, and that kind of fell through. We're not really to know what's happening behind the scenes in terms of the negotiations, but this fight was just so underwhelming. I just think to myself, look, man, if you can't get the big fights, just scrap the heavyweight division. Just scrap it. I don't seriously. I'm sick and tired, man. Sick and tired of these fights not happening. And it's just literally like, what next now? How long do we now need to wait for? How long do we need to wait for a big fight? Heavyweight division right now, it is just completely shot. It's in the mud right now. I can't even lie. It's in the mud, and I don't know who's going to be able to come out and save it. But none of these fighters are willing to fight each other, man, and that's the annoying thing. You got obviously Tyson Fury. Now, Tyson Fury is my guy. I'm not gonna deny him. He's my guy. But at the same time, going to fight the likes of Francis Ngannou, yes, it does very well for your pockets. Yes, it does well for your profile, and it gets people talking a bit. And it's an extreme, for me. It's like an extreme exhibition in it. We've seen it before. MMA fighter fights a boxer, vice versa, with Mayweather and Conor McGregor. But like, once again, these fights are not being made. So you get a Tyson Fury that's thinking, all right, cool. Like, if I'm not gonna fight no one, or nobody wants to fight me, then I gotta make my money. I don't blame him. But at the same time, why is the heavyweight division in this situation? Someone needs to take control. Someone needs to take control of this situation right now. And I don't know who, I don't know when, but boxing needs to change, man. Honestly, it needs to change. Too many fighters ducking each other. Too many, fighters not fighting each other in the sense of, like, big fights. Um, does there need to be some tournaments? Does there need to be, like, some elimination setups? Because some of these rankings are bug as well. Some of these rankings are bug. Like, you're looking at the fighters and you just think to yourself, like, oh, who is this? Who is this? Yeah. And then at the same time as well, it's not just at the high end. It's not just the elite. It's the ones below as well. They're not looking to really fight each other as well, because they're thinking to themselves, oh man, I just need to get that big fight. Yeah. Some of these guys are coming into the boxing world thinking that they're the Mayweathers, thinking that they're the Anthony Joshuas, but they don't even deserve that level of attention yet. But they go around claiming that they're that guy, and then they're not. So I don't know what's gonna happen next, man. I'm just seriously underwhelmed by everything. To get to the point where you've got AJ versus Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte obviously has to be pulled out of the fight due to the adverse, um, drugs finding in his system, allegedly. But now we're hearing that it's going to be Joseph Parker that possibly could jump in and be the replacement for next week's fight, which is, like I said, it's underwhelming. Let me just read on more in regards to this, because it is really, really interesting in regards to Dillian Whyte. So once again, this is from Sky Sports. Dillian Whyte's fight against Anthony Joshua has been cancelled, if you didn't know by now. There was a voluntary anti-doping that was done with Dillian Whyte. So he's voluntarily done it, and he's denying the accusation of obviously being, some drugs being found in his system. So and Dillian Whyte went to social media, took to social media to deny everything, taking the reported substance, and vowed to prove that he was completely innocent. Um, so yeah, man. When it comes to Joseph Parker, when did they last meet? The pair met in Cardiff 2018. So that's when Joseph Parker and Anthony Joshua met. Anthony Joshua beat Joseph Parker then. It wasn't even a convincing win either at that particular time. Um, both their stocks are low. Joseph Parker, like, I don't know, what's he gonna bring to the game, man? What's he gonna bring to this fight? And I'm just completely just dumbfounded right now. I'm lost in regards to what is happening in the heavyweight division, and I don't know, man. For you guys out there, let me know what you think. Who should Anthony Joshua actually face now as a replacement? Yeah, let me know what you think. Who should Anthony Joshua face as a replacement? And remember, you got a week left to go. Who do you reckon is a viable name? A real opponent that you think to yourself, all right, cool, it's a decent one. You're not gonna get the big guys now. not at this late notice. You're not going to get the big guys now. So as much as I'm like cringing at the fact that it could be Joseph Parker, it might just be it. I feel sorry for Anthony Joshua as much as I'm giving him abuse and that, and it sounds like I'm blaming him. Once again, I'm not blaming Anthony Joshua. This is not his fault. The only thing I'm just saying is just like I just wish that he could have got a better opponent rather than your Dillian Whytes. But I do feel sorry for him because the situation is you train so hard. He's out there in Dallas, training amongst the likes of Errol Spence Jr. as well. I think he was in and around his camp and stuff. So he's training out there, doing all he can to put himself instead to once again build on his career, and then this happens. So it's going to be quite interesting to see who he actually faces, if he faces anyone at all. If it is a complete washout and it's completely like not just the fight, because it sounds like they're saying that the event is cancelled. The event, not the fight, but the event. Now, if the event is cancelled, boy, when will he fight next? When will he fight next? And are we actually saying that all of the, heavyweights, are they going to be fighting next year? It's August now, man. Who's going to be willing to fight in December? I'm hearing that there's going to be no fights during that period of time in Saudi Arabia, so nobody can get any fights. I think the only person that's set up a decent, I say decent, the only person that's set up a fight is Fury and Francis Ngannou. But apart from that, no other heavyweight boxing fights are going to be taking place this year. So, man, I don't know. I really don't know what to say no more, man. I'm just completely fed up with the heavyweight division right now. There is nobody that I'm really looking at and thinking to myself, yeah, this is the guy. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Pretty much it. Breaking news in regards to the Anthony Joshua fight versus Dillian Whyte that's been cancelled due to some adverse findings in Dillian Whyte's system. And then now it's just the next question. What is next for Anthony Joshua? What is next for Dillian Whyte? Well, when it comes to Anthony Joshua, there might be a possible opponent, and that is Joseph Parker, to what the rumors are right now. If it's not him, then there's no fight for AJ. And for Dillian Whyte, he's claiming that he's innocent. Where have we heard that before? Huh? Everybody's always innocent. Everybody's always innocent. Where have we heard that before? So we got to wait and find out. One person I would say is also in the mud. It is Eddie Hearn, man. Let me just touch on that as well. Eddie Hearn, this is a second fighter within his ranks that's failed a drugs test, adverse findings in their system, and once again he's gonna have to come front and center to plead the cases and try and smooth things over. And I wonder if you go and talk sports again. I wonder if you go and talk sports again and go and face Simon Jordan, because I know that Simon Jordan would just rip him a new one in regards to this. But look, man, it's not Eddie Hearn's fault, innit? Like, he's not responsible for what these fighters do in regards to what they're taking, ingesting. You know what I mean? So he's not responsible for that, but he's front and face of Matchroom Boxing, so he's gonna have to deal with this. I can't wait to hear what he has to actually say. And yeah, man, like, once again, Dillian Whyte is gonna have to prove his innocence somehow, if he is innocent, and if he's not, then he's gonna have to face a lengthy ban, as they should. Question: when these boxers are actually being found guilty as well of their drug taking or whatever, like, how long should they be banned for? Should it be indefinite? Should it be like, a lifetime ban, or is it in accordance to whatever has been found? I don't know, man, because it's just for me, I just believe in zero tolerance, man. Zero tolerance. Like just be banned. But it's a tricky one because once again, there's all these kinds of situations and scenarios and how they can find stuff in your system. I don't know. I'm just frustrated right now, man. I'm just really frustrated. I can't take this no more, man. It's like it's ridiculous. We're not gonna be we're not gonna get a heavyweight boxing fight this year. That's how I see it. I want to see heavyweight boxing, man. That's my division right there. I grew up on the Mike Tysons, the Evander Holyfields, you know what I mean? Lucky enough to even see the old school boxers. But to just to know that right now we ain't really got a dominating figure. I know Tyson Fury for most will be put up there as the lineal guy, but we need a fighting champion. That's all I ask for. A fighting champion, man. Someone that's just doing bits and really knocking these guys out, man. We need a, what they call the world's dangerous man. Those kind of guys. We need that back. Um, are we ever gonna get back to that era where we're really looking at a heavyweight champion and think to ourselves, you know what, man, this guy is dangerous. Ain't nobody can get this guy. I don't know, man. Are we ever gonna get the Iron Mike Tyson days again? Feared boxers. I don't know. I know that for most people, Tyson Fury is number one. For me, I believe he is. And then you got the Usyks, your Deontay Wilders, your AJs, your Dillian Whytes, all of these guys, man. Chisoras, all oh my days. Look at these guys. But anyway, man, I'm rambling on. That's the news so far. Once again, Anthony Joshua versus Dillian Whyte has been cancelled. We believe that the event has been cancelled as well, although there's rumors that there could be a possible late replacement. Who knows? But for the time being, that's what we're getting. That's the news we're getting. I'm going to jump on more of this in regards to the heavyweight division because I really want to break it down a bit more and just boxing in general, man. Like what is going on with the state of boxing at the present moment. But yeah, this is a dash of sports. This is where I give you all the hot topics and trending stories. Please make sure that you put on your notification bell because that's what's going to get you to be able to not miss out on further stories. And new shows are going to be coming out. I say new shows. The next shows that I'm going to be having will be the Premier League show. That's why I'm going to give you all the information about Premier League football. That's back. Premier League football is back. But once again, a dash of sports is back. This is where I'm going to be giving you all the trending stories. So keep it locked. Until the next time, guys. Peace.